Hey everybody, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Brian.
And in this episode, we wanted to talk about something that is probably prolific in any industry, but I wanted to tie it back particularly to inspection and cleaning, and that has to do with the reliability of the suppliers and the manufacturers that you work with. You know, we see it oftentimes with price pressure of test equipment and seeing other manufacturers who might not be as reputable, and so they try to sell you something as cheap as possible. And the customers oftentimes will look at that and say, hey, you can save $1 by going here. But in the end, things end up backfiring, and you end up kind of getting what you pay for. But I know that that's even more of a prolific issue when it comes to the cleaning tools.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tyler, one of the things that we're starting to see as more people become aware of the inspection and cleaning process, they're looking for ways to try to save money, right? But I think they're going about it the wrong way. You're seeing a lot of companies, especially out of China, that are coming in with basically what I call knockoff products. One of the things that you can sort of tell the difference between a legitimate product and one that's not is the legitimate products will always have the name and brand on there. They'll also usually have their contact information somewhere, so that way if you ever have an issue, they can go through and make it right.
Well, you think about oftentimes one of the decision makers in the process might be somebody in finance or accounting, and they might on the surface say, hey, I'm saving $1 or so, and so when I buy 1,000 connectors, cleaners, I'm saving $1,000. But I know you've had some experiences before where folks were victims of that, and then they have something go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can think of a recent situation that was dealing with one of the maquilas down in Mexico, and they ended up buying a bunch of these, let's call it knockoff type cleaners. And when they got them, basically once they started hitting the floor, it was just a matter of about a couple hours before the operators started having a lot of problems, and it got to the point where it shut down the line. And so they ended up trying to figure out what to do. Well, the distributor that sold it basically was on the hook, right? Because he had bought him from one of these Chinese knockoff guys, and essentially he's left holding the bag. Chinese guy is not coming in with technical support, and you're sure not getting your money back, right? So it's just a very bad situation. Bad for the distributor, bad for the end user, and it's just not a good thing to do. If you're going to spend the money to do inspection and cleaning, it's important, right, to get a good quality product. So if you're buying test gear, make sure you have the software and the repeatability, the technical support, right? That's huge.
Yeah, you're not just buying the product, you're buying actually the people and the support and the knowledge base to support that.
And if you're going to take the time to sit there and inspect and clean connectors, hey, do it right. If you think about it, the cost of most projects, especially cable installation, about 80% of it is labor. Right? And so you want to make sure that when you send your folks out into the field to do that install, that they have the right tools. I kind of use the analogy. It's like taking a hammer trying to drive in a screw. It's just, I mean, it can do it, right? But it's going to end up bad, right? So,
exactly.
So when you send your guys out and you're doing your work, make sure you outfit them with the best gear possible. And that way you don't have the truck rollbacks, you don't have the recalls. If you're a manufacturer, right, you want to have good test gear, good cleaning gear, because you want to make sure that everything's done right the first time.
Yeah, you can't afford to shut down the line. Hey, until next time, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Brian. Thanks for watching.